Hello there and welcome to my YouTube channel, Julia McNeill Crafts. So today it's another time for a Samantha K project. I am going to do something simple. I thought I would just do some heat embossing with this and have an idea to sort of turn it into like an oriental button. So it's meant to be a moon, I think. I don't know if this will work, but let's have a little play together and see what happens. Okay, so we'll see how this works. I am in the minute using Versamark. If I struggle with this, I may get my glycerine out in a little bit, but we'll just try it with Versamark. So I'm just pushing this in, and because I'm thinking I've not done any heat embossing with the MDF so far in my videos, so to try and mix it up and do something different. I'm also, as you might hear, we're still in lockdown, obviously. We're still in isolation, so we're not even allowed to go for a walk at the minute. I can't wait till Monday and I can go for a walk. But yeah, so you will hear my daughter playing downstairs. She has got a couple of her friends on Zoom. So they're in her bedroom on her iPad playing. So there is a bit of noise, but I just kind of think it is quite important for them to sort of still have some sort of social interaction and engagement. It's a shame that it's kind of online, but you know, needs must in these strange times. So I have got, this is a Cosmic Shimmer embossing powder. It seems to be sort of a blue and a purple. I might do a couple of layers of this just to get like almost like a triple thick. So I'm just going to try and put it to the side so that you can maybe see the change. Actually, what I might do is I'll zoom in a little bit. Okay, so that seems to be as close as I can go to zoom in. So I'm just going to allow that to change a little bit. I'm looking at the camera and hoping that you can see that a little bit changing. And then I'll maybe do the rest off camera. I'm just trying to get it so that you can see it go nice and glossy. So I'm just doing that, and then probably what I will do is, while it's still warm, is I will put another layer of it on as well, so that we can, so it's like the triple thick embossing. Actually, I'm really glad I chose that. There's sort of a lovely dual tone to that. So okay, while that's still wet, I'm going to keep heating that so it's still wet. I'm just going to move my tweezers for a second, okay, because I want it to stay nice and warm. And then while it's warm, I'm going to put another lot over. It's amazing how the colour changes when you do that. Now I'm wanting to maintain the holes, because that's part of my idea for turning this into sort of like a oriental style button. So where's my little tweezers? I'm going to poke the embossing powder through those holes so that I can maintain them, because I want those holes. Right, and I will just heat that up again. So I'm going to do that probably up to 3 times, and then I'll be back with you. Okay, so I've got another layer on that waiting to go, and in between time I am just going to ink up this oriental flower. Now I have to put a disclaimer, this technique should be done with your red rubber stamps or your grey rubber stamps, not with a photopolymer stamp. I've never tried it with a photopolymer stamp. We could find that the heat ends up ruining the stamp. So I'm just going to experiment now and find out what actually happens. It's a really old stamp of mine in an oriental set that I never use anymore, and unfortunately I don't seem to have any. I used to have red rubber oriental stamps, but I don't seem to have any of those anymore. So I'm going to experiment, but if it means I wreck my stamp, at least I'm wrecking mine and you're not wrecking yours. But even so, I would suggest that you do this with a rubber stamp, not with a photopolymer stamp. So this is the 4th layer of embossing powder on now. It's getting really glossy. I'm wanting to make sure that's nice and hot and melted, and while it is, I am going to stamp into it with my flower. And I'm just going to leave it there for a second to cool down. Once it's cooled down, then I will peel that off. Okay, I've left that a few seconds now, so I'm just going to lift that, and I don't seem to have done any damage to my stamp, so you may wish to risk it if you want, but if you don't, if it's a favourite stamp, I wouldn't. Just waiting for that to cool down a little bit, but now we have that fabulous glossy detail and now those oriental flowers stamped into it. So I'm now going to go and get myself some thread, and I'm going to wrap thread in around those holes to sort of continue to create that sort of button effect. Okay, so I have grabbed myself, this is some Gutermann thread. It's like a hot pink colour and it's got purple flecks through it, which I thought sort of suited the oriental theme and the fact that I've gone for a purpley embossing powder. I'm actually really loving how this turned out. It's turned out better than I was hoping, so that's good. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stick that on for just now, just to secure it. And I was thinking I'm just going to go through some of these various holes that we have here and just create some different thread. I don't know. I don't really know what I'm doing. I don't even know if it'll look good or whether I'll be undoing it before long. But yeah, I'm just kind of going through some of the different ones and sort of crossing over to add this sort of thread detail to it. So what I might do is, because obviously this is going to be quite repetitive, can I get the needle up through that one? No, see, I can't get the needle up through all of them, so but that's okay. We'll just go with the ones that we can and see what shapes we can create. So I'm just going to do that a few times, and then I will be back. Okay, so that's how it is looking now. And I'm just going to add a few more details onto that. Okay, so I have got some Deco Art metallic luster in this sort of pinky colour, and I was thinking that I might just go around the edge and sort of pick up a few more colours, and then maybe we'll just go around the edge of this button as well, so that we've got, we don't have the MDF showing through. It's going to have this really luxurious metallic feel. So I'm just putting that around the edges like so. And as I said, I'm just bringing a little bit of that up onto the front of that as well. I don't want to cover too much because I really like the way the Utee has turned out, but just to sort of give it a bit of a two-tone. And I'm also going to add a tiny bit of gold as well. So this is my Pebeo gilding wax. Okay, and I'm just going to add a tiny bit there, especially like around the flowers, because the Utee's become a bit clumped around there, so it just means it's kind of hitting those raised edges and allows us to see it a little bit more. I'll just take that back. As I said, I'm not wanting too much, but it just all adds to the look of it. So I've pulled out a few sequins, so I'm just going to dollop a big bit of glue in the centre of these, where all these threads meet. This glue will dry clear, so it will look a lot better once it's dried. And I'm just going to put a flower down there. Okay, and then we'll get another one. And I'm just going to then put this one on here. It's kind of iridescent. I'm trying to swirl it so that we can see the one that we've put underneath. But it was kind of needing that so that you could see it from the button, because it was similar colours to the button, and a tiny bit more, and I've got a tiny little purple one just there. So what I'm going to do now is just let that dry, and I'm going to have a look through my stash, see what oriental papers I have, and then we'll just make something quickly with that. I'll just show you it close up. Okay, so that's a slightly closer look at it there. That's really delicate, really pretty. Completely different from its original intention, which just shows that you can turn these into whatever you want them to be. So now I'm just going to get some stash and then we will create something with this. Okay, so I've just got a white card because I want this button to be the main feature of the card. I kind of want all of that to look at that. So I've embossed a piece of white card. I've not really used these often enough, so I've not had a chance to have a proper play. But these are the mica powders from. They're not mica powders. I don't know. You'll if you go on Agenda and watch some of the John Next Door products, they are just, I think they're just the colour. So yeah, and I bought these knowing, because I saw how well they went onto MDF, and I thought I absolutely need to have those, and then I've not actually played with them often enough. So I'm just going to pick out some of the pinks and then to highlight the flowers, and then I thought I would get a lilac-y colour and just put light washes, not washes, it's the wrong colour, but light colouring. I seem to have lost my words. I'm just going to ever so lightly go over this. Now for some reason this is looking quite nice in real life, but it doesn't seem to be picking up on the camera overly well. So, and I only have one of my daylight lights on, so I'm not quite sure what that's all about. So yeah, it's I'm just picking up some of those lilac and purple colours there. I may have to show this closer to the camera for you to see it in its full glory. Because as I said, I'm looking at it and it's not looking overly impressive in the screen. Well, that's quite beautiful in real life, so I'm not quite sure what's going on with that. So now I'm trying to make it darker so you can see it in the screen, but I'm not sure that's doing the project any favours. Let's see how we go. I'll have to maybe sort of zoom in a little bit more. Let's just go for it. Now I'm going from having a soft subtle project to like in your face purple and pink, just so that you can see it. That's fine. I'll maybe change my plan. So I'll put a lot more colour on that, and then maybe what I will do is lift some of the detail with a bit of gold gilding wax and see what happens. See what happens when we do that. But hopefully you can kind of see the pattern come into life a little bit there, and hopefully our button will still stand out against all of this colour. Otherwise I will press stop, find something else, and see what we're doing. Yeah, but that still stands out quite nicely. So I'll maybe put that away. Let's see, I wonder what will happen if we, let's just play. We'll just play and see what happens. Right, I'm going to try getting a little bit of this gold gilding wax and just sort of try and get elements of it. I kind of want to go fairly canny, to be honest, because I don't really want it sort of taking over. But actually, yeah, that has lifted it a little bit and brought it to life. And then the fact I've got a little bit of gold gilding wax on the button as well, hopefully will make a difference. And then what I'm going to do is just get a bit of ribbon and tie it around the bottom with the button, and I think we're going to leave it at that, and hopefully that'll just be a little bit of inspiration. So as I said, I've not done Utee with any of the MDF yet, so I was just quite keen to do something a little bit different. So I'm hoping that you've liked it. Right, so we have that now. It's definitely looking quite oriental. So I'm going to grab some ribbons and some thread, and I'll be back. Okay. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is edge this in black, because once I've wrapped the ribbon round it is going to be difficult to get a clean edge. So I'm just going to do that first. Yeah, I'm just doing that because, you know, this is me we're talking about. It needs its black edge. So I'm just going to do the same on the actual base of the card as well. And give that, especially with it being oriental, you kind of expect a touch of black in there as well. Okay, so I'll just do that, and then I have got some lovely shiny ribbon, kind of stuff that I normally wouldn't pick up and use at all. I've sort of inherited this ribbon, but that's okay. So what I am going to do is just use my double-sided tape. It's really funny because it's like I tidied up my craft room. That was the first thing I did when we went into isolation. Spent 4 days at it. But although I'm saying 4 days, it wasn't sort of like 4 days, 12 hours at it solid, because obviously in between time I was sort of like looking after my daughter and doing schoolwork and various bits and bobs like the rest of us are. So, you know, it was periods of time over a 4-day period that I spent in the loft. And now, for once, I'm actually sort of tidying up as I go. Novel idea, I know. Our Jan would be so proud of me. So first of all, I'm just going to wrap that ribbon round, like so. And then I am going to grab some thread, and I'm going to do the same with the thread. So I'll just pop that under there. So again, it's just going to give it a bit more interest. Oops, need to unravel that a little bit. Okay. And I'll have it coming off the ribbon as well, like so. Oops. Sorry, I'm not making this look overly easy, am I? Oh dear. Right, so I'll do a bit of that, and then I will tuck that under, pull this off and stick all of that down so that the double-sided tape, and then I'll just pop that down till I'm finished, and then that will help to stick it to the base of the card. So we've got that, and then we just have the button there. I think that looks really pretty. So, oops, it's kind of come apart a little bit because it's not quite dry, but that's okay. We can leave it to dry. It can be fixed. So I think what I will do next is stick the card to the card base. Oops. And then stick the embellishment down. So let's have some sort of a semblance of order to what's going on. Okay. So I'm going to grab a load of glue. Actually thinking that because we have all the ribbon, it's not going to sit even, so let's get some 3D foam down. That's probably a much more sensible idea. It'll look much better if we do that. So I'm just going to grab bits of 3D foam, and then that will look much better. How many times can I say much better in one sentence? Honestly, I think I'm not crafting as much, I'm not filming as much, and I just seem to have lost the ability to talk. Today in particular, I'm exhausted, to be honest. My daughter is really struggling with the whole lockdown situation, and she's in sleeping with me because by the time we get to night time, we're very upset, we're very tearful, and so I'm not sleeping as well as I should, and like every single mum in the, well, over a third of the world, or we're trying to juggle so many things and put so many hats on right now that we're a bit tired. Right, my connection seems to be lost, so I'm just going to double check that I'm still filming. Okay, Okay, I've actually just moved it over to the other side because I think that's where the ribbon's sort of naturally pinched in, so it looks better there. I'm just going to grab some gel medium because I want that to stick down quite well, and the gel medium will adhere more permanently than anything else and more securely. So we'll just put that down there, and then I'm just trying to decide whether it needs maybe a sentiment. I'll have a little look, or maybe some little gold gems just to finish it off a little bit. Actually, I've had a play with different sentiments and decided I'm going to leave this as it is. It works as it is. I keep thinking about splashes and different things that I want to add to it because clean and simple like this is not my normal style or look, but I think in this instance it does work. So I'm going to leave it at that, and I hope you've enjoyed looking at a few different techniques. It's made me want to play with Utee a lot more, so I think we might see more of that. If you have found me on my channel, please do pop over to Sam's. She has an amazing team. Her MDF is the most amazing quality at all. It's just brilliant. I mean, the fact that I choose Sam to cut my MDF speaks volumes in itself because, you know, she is amazing. She knows exactly what she's doing. So do pop over to her channel. If you found me on Sam's channel, please do feel free to pop over and see what else I'm up about. So wherever you found me, please do consider liking and subscribing, and I'll be back again very soon. Okay, take care then, and goodbye.